Aloha everyone, this is Eleni DiCarlo coming straight at you from Bagogames.com. I was one of the very lucky few in America to actually receive a Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate demo code early, and I will be opening up my little package here and I'm going to be showing you exactly what it's going to look like. Let's get started. So right away, there are 3 different levels. You can do beginner, which is a great Jaggi, which I have hunted thousands in my time. You can hunt the Tescabra, which is actually new. I have not ever gone against him, and I believe he is new for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. And there's also the Goramagala, and he looks extremely dangerous, and I'm very excited to actually go against him. But for right now, I'm just going to show you how to go against a Jaggi. Straight away you want to head to the quest box and you want to pick up everything that you possibly could need for this quest. Already I'm absolutely loving the music. This is a brand new weapon for the Monster Hunter series. I decided to use the Insect Glaive, which is one of the new weapons for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. It's been talked about quite a bit. Right now I am just making a well steak so I can use it for my stamina. I always have issues with stamina in Monster Hunter. There's actually a new jingle that happens as you cook, which I'm kind of happy with because the old one was a little annoying after trying to cook steaks 1,000 times. So I've finally cooked all my steaks. As you can see, instead of Cha-Cha and Kayamba, this time I have 2 little felines, and they are very cute. I love their little outfits, which are actually helpful armor. So far this world looks extremely extensive. It's beautiful. I actually can't wait to see it in 3D. I normally, if I am playing Monster Hunter on my 3DS, I normally will play it in 3D. Oh, you can fish here, that's cool. Already you can see this is a completely different world than we have ever seen within Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter 4 is going to have a storyline. And what's interesting about the storyline is that Monster Hunter's story is basically that you are a hunter, you show up in Moga Village, and you hunt monsters because the village needs people to go after these terrifying monsters that are terrorizing their way of life. But this time we're actually going to be joining a caravan and fighting alongside some other hunters. It's a new area. I wonder where the Jaggi is hiding. Oh, I hate those little cats. You always have to watch out for them. They steal everything. I guess it's time to try out my weapon. Seems to be vines up ahead. Oh, we got a shiny already. Ration. Oh, I guess I didn't have to cook all those steaks. One of the things people always forget, if they don't play Monster Hunter, or if they don't play it very often, is much of your time goes to gathering. You are a hunter-gatherer, and in order to constantly hunt, you literally need to gather your items and make sure that you have enough. I actually didn't need that right now, but make sure, and you need to craft the different items that you collect. The world actually looks brighter and more richer on the 3DS than it is showing up in this video. But for right now, at least you guys get a little bit of taste before the demo officially comes out. I really just want to explore a little bit and show you guys how beautiful this new world is. Oh, we found one little Jaggi. Let's see if we can find the big one. We need the great Jaggi. Should be around here somewhere. Thought I heard him. I'm so used to knowing exactly where everything is in Monster Hunter Tri and Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate that I feel a little lost, which is actually a good thing. I was waiting for a new area to explore. I think we can go down there. Seem to be blocked. This looks new. These look like little pumpkins. I guess this is how the mushrooms are going to appear now in Monster Hunter 4. Normally they look blue or white. I'm wondering if that's the Jaggi's house. They're going to start coming out of there. We found some more mushrooms. Well, we have plenty of mulberries, thankfully, to our quest box. I always love the graphics in the Monster Hunter games. I think the worlds are absolutely beautiful. It's very fantastic and yet realistic at the same time, which I think is why so many different types of people end up playing the Monster Hunter series. Is that you do have a small element of science fiction with being able to have different types of weapons. You still have the fantasy of fighting after elder dragons and wearing absolutely gorgeous armor that only knights would wear. And yet you still have the element of it being a very realistic world. There are consequences to your actions on quests, and I actually did not know you could jump down there. This is a very interesting world. Oh, see, are they Jaggies? Yeah. I'm actually trying to play by looking at the camera, and this is not working. This appears to be one of the nesting areas. I would think it's for the Jaggi. Whenever you... well, there are plenty of Jaggi here, but I'm hoping to see the great Jaggi so I can use the weapon properly. There is different moves within the new Monster Hunter. There are some questions about whether or not you can transfer your save data from Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate into Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, which is, it's a rather silly question considering that they're two completely separate games and that there's going to be different armors. There are some reoccurring monsters, but you absolutely cannot transfer your save from one game into this game. The only way you can transfer saves is going from Tri-Ultimate on the Wii U to the 3DS for Tri-Ultimate, or from the 3DS to the Wii U, because they're the exact same game. One of the things that you really need to have with Monster Hunter is a lot of patience. The monsters do not always appear right away. Sometimes you're lucky and they do appear, or unlucky in some cases. Oh, I figured we could climb this wall. Oh, there's more mushrooms. So this world seems to be in autumn. It's probably going to be a perpetual autumn. The last time Monster Hunter... Well, this area. There are usually several areas that you get to play in. There's always a tundra. There is a desert area. There's... The Misty Peaks is actually my ultimate favorite one, and it reminded me of sort of like the ancient stories of China, from the way the landscapes are described in stories. Oh, so now this is actually, I wonder if the Korpeko, or Korpeko type, lives here, because this looks like would be their nest. We're actually on top of the vines, and it looks like you have to be careful, because there are spots that you can actually fall through. The meowing is actually coming from my companions. Usually when you hear meowing, it means that you better run away from the cats, because they have a tendency to either throw bombs or smack you and try to steal your items. Which is really annoying, especially when they start stealing your traps, which you need. I decided to go after the Jaggi because I did want to try out the new insect glaive, which is brand new for Monster Hunter 4, as I've mentioned. But I know that if I went after either the intermediate or advanced quest, it would be too difficult. Okay, this is where the Great Jaggi is going to appear. Whenever there's a cutscene like this, it means that you're approaching a new monster you haven't seen yet. And the Jaggis resemble raptors, in case you haven't noticed. I rather like this new idea of jumping on top of the monster and being able to just being able to hunt them right away. Or, I mean, just being able to start attacking them from their back. That's something you could never do before. I am trying to use the camera based on the D-pad because I don't have the Circle Pad Pro. I am a little used to it because I did play Tri-Ultimate that way at first, but I do actually prefer having that second C-stick, or the camera stick in general. The green bar on top is going to be your health, and the yellow bar underneath is your stamina. You need to watch both of them. If your stamina drops so low, you will actually pass out, and no matter how good your health is, and that's always, it should be a concern for you. In terms of healing yourself, I tend to heal myself when I am halfway through my green bar. I don't like going below that halfway point, because once a monster whacks you, that could be the end of your turn. You also need to keep a close eye on the sharpness of your weapon. Sometimes there are different levels of sharpness. Oh, we only have 10 minutes left of the quest. Oh, that's because I spent too much time actually looking looking for him instead of actually finding him. I did not mean to actually eat that, but stamina is always good. Normally you have 50 minutes for your quest, and you need to complete it within that time frame. It doesn't matter how far along you get in the quest or how little damage you've actually received. Once that time is up, your quest is over and you've failed. I apologize for the camera working. I don't have the C-stick, and I don't have the Circle Pad Pro, so I'm trying to use the D-pad. This also happens where you accidentally end up in the next area. Always try to keep a good notion of your surroundings. You never know when another monster is going to attack, or a minion, or if you just end up in the other area and then you end up missing that opportunity. This is the very first time I have ever played with the Insect Glaive, so I'm not quite sure all of the moves yet for it. But once I play with it a little bit, then I'll be able to fully understand it. I believe we are running close out of time. I'm actually going to put a trap down in the next area since we are almost out of time. Okay, he's eating, so that means his stamina is low. Let's see if I can draw him out. I am very used to using the switch axe. That's actually my main weapon of choice for Monster Hunter. I most likely will be returning to using the switch axe, but I definitely want to explore the new weapon types. There's going to be, oh, he's ready for capturing. There's going to be 14 actually, not 4, 14 separate weapon classes to choose from. There is always Gunner. Gunner's always a choice, and those are usually a bow gun or the actual gun. And then you have Blade Master, there are several different types of blades. He didn't go in this section. I have to find him soon before the time runs out. Actually, I was talking and I didn't even notice the area that he went into. See, I know where all of the monsters' nests are in Try and Try Ultimate, but I can only guess with this area. Seems I made quite a blunder. I can't seem to find him. I have a feeling he's in Area 9. I think he's actually below us. "5 minutes. I'm going to use a trap. I don't think I have paintballs with me. No, I don't. So I won't be able to capture him, but we'll see if I can kill him within just a couple minutes. I really should sharpen, but since I see there's only 1 minute left, I'm not going to bother wasting time in a quest to sharpen. Probably I should have sharpened because, as you can see, it's already down to yellow status and it's not making much of a cut into him. Oh, we actually got him. Normally I get the Great Jaggi in the course of a couple minutes. I am playing actually looking through my camera instead of the 3DS, the way I have this set up. So I actually, there's been time lapses between my judgment and playing. I am definitely going to be playing the next 2 quests today and seeing how that goes. If you guys would like to see more videos of Monster Hunter 4 demo, or if you want to see tutorials on Monster Hunter 4, or you want tips and tricks on the Monster Hunter series in general, please let us know in the comments below. Thank you for visiting Bagogames' YouTube page, and we hope to see you soon. Aloha!